Hello, everybody, and welcome to our final installment of LinkedIn Bootcamp. I'm Kimber Hill, the VertForce CEO, and this is week 3 of LinkedIn Bootcamp. I am going to get started, but first I wanted to show you these lovely Stanley tumblers. These are a few of the tumblers we are going to be giving away. I love the green. I'm a jewel tone person, so I love like a nice ruby, a good cerulean blue, an emerald green. These are my jam. So I wanted to make sure that you guys see these. We are giving these away in next week's Coffee Connect event. Our Coffee Connect event, let me just go ahead and bring that URL up on screen for you. That is VA Loan Bootcamp. As a military veteran, a military spouse, or military connected person, you have access to the VA loan. And this is a very powerful tool that you can use for your family to invest in real estate and to build a nice retirement portfolio. And you know me, I care very much about the financial wellness and well-being of our military community members. Guys, my lunch plate is out. Hang on. Who else eats in their office? Just put it back on screen. I don't have a very big desk, so you'll have to bear with me. Also, I eat like carnivore. It's my husband's diet that he brings me onto. So it was like a nice juicy steak that I had for lunch. It was so good. But VA Loan Bootcamp, you have access to the VA loan. Like I said before, we care about your financial wholeness and your financial well-being as a military connected person. And so what I want you to think about is how can I be better off in the time of our family's retirement or separation from the military. So I would love for you to join me at VA Loan Bootcamp. It's right here. We've got 2 participants who have scanned our QR code. Just RSVP, and I will send you a calendar invitation. It's next Tuesday. Not only are we giving away tumblers, but we're also giving away $500 in Starbucks because I love my community. I love the community we've built at VertForce. So everything that we do is meant to be educational and fun. And you're supposed to have lots of cool freebies and everything that we do. And we want you to walk away happier and more educated than you were when you joined. Today, we are wrapping up LinkedIn Bootcamp. And then I also want to tell you about the subsequent week. So Katie, if you'll bring our final Coffee Connect for the quarter on screen, thank you. We're also doing a Coffee Connect on 5/20 with Travelers Insurance, and we are about to start making more posts about this as we wrap up LinkedIn Bootcamp. Travelers is such an incredible employer to work for. They have an amazing culture. They truly care about their employees and their team members. And we've seen so many different military spouses head over to Travelers for long-term careers. So I invite you to come to our Coffee Connect where we will be speaking with travelers. They're going to share with us, they're going to kind of peel back the curtain and share with us what it's like to be an employee there and exactly how they value you. So join us, and you can QR code scan here to join us for our travelers call. I will share, kind of intimately with you all. We had one of our corporate team members transition over to Travelers, and she's just completed her first month and has had huge success there. And we're so happy for her. She's loving it. It's very much up her alley. It very much connects with the military spouse lifestyle. So I can't wait to see you there. All right, let me check in with Katie. Katie, did I miss any announcements before we wrap up our final installment of LinkedIn Bootcamp? Nope, we're good to go. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, we met with the amazing world-class LinkedIn expert, Mandy McEwen, and she gave us 3 hours of her time. We are actually set to release the replay of that today or tomorrow. If you want the replay of that, go send me a message on LinkedIn right now so I can make sure that I get it to you, okay? It's invaluable. It's amazing. The reason we've not released the replay yet is because I got really sick after we recorded it, so we're about 1 week behind. Thank you for being patient. Um, on that note, we met last Tuesday to do a review from the people who attended that event, and we reviewed about 7 profiles, and today we're doing it again. We do have a private WhatsApp. So if you wanna join LinkedIn Bootcamp and you wanna get in the WhatsApp, you can do that here. We welcome you. We'd love for you to be there. Katie runs the WhatsApp. It's amazing. She does a fantastic job. You can ask any LinkedIn questions that you have. QR code to hop in. You do need the mobile application WhatsApp to join us. Okay, so today we are reviewing, in this order, Shannon, Deja, H. Smith, Naomi, Jolene, and Isabella. Hang on, there's a final person. Kristen Taylor. Kristen Taylor. So you will have to keep me on my toes because screen sharing on this platform is a little difficult. Let me get screen sharing rolling, and then you are welcome in the chat to hit me up. So I need to see if Shannon is here. Shannon, are you here with us? I asked this week, because of the rhythm and flow and cadence of last week, for you to join me on screen so that I can ask you questions in real time and there's no delay. So I think we're just waiting to see if Shannon is here and ready to hop in. Ah, there we are. Shannon is here, and now I see Shannon's coming on. Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
Good.
Very nice to meet you on camera.
Thanks. You too.
Do you wanna share where you're located? You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm in Dumfries, Virginia, so Northern Virginia, kind of really close to Quantico.
Northern Virginia, very nice. I'm in Florida. I'm so excited that you agreed to be on screen with us today because it helps the conversation flow. I don't know if you were here last week, but there's a big delay if we don't have you. So, tell me this, what's your number one reason for being on LinkedIn?
So I think just like any other military spouse, huge pivoter. So I guess just trying to make sure I'm hitting possibly recruiters, but mainly just the change into a new career, I guess. Um, that's it. I get lots of messages from recruiters in industries that I'm not really interested in and not looking for jobs in, and I'm trying to figure out why.
Okay. Um, can I ask briefly, what are you getting messages about?
It's usually finance. I assume
Mm,
it's to either like run like my own insurance,
okay.
company, and then lots of like business development. Either like, hey, how can you grow your clients, or do you want to open up a franchise, or run a
Uh,
franchise? Yeah.
I bet that's because you have owner on your experience repertoire. Well, first of all, when I visit your profile, I wanna talk about some things that you're doing very well. I love your profile picture. I think it really captures your spirit, your smile, your eyes. You're being very authentic there, and I appreciate that. I
Thank
also
you.
like that you've gone ahead and updated your URL so that we have a clear indicator of your first and last name in your URL, and we don't have a mix of random numbers and letters. Okay. So I wanted to know specifically, we have functional nutritional nutrition health specialist here, and we kind of have some images in the background of food and work in your cover photo. So is this your ideal job title, functional nutrition health specialist?
Yes, I'm currently going through a program, so that's kind of like, I guess the that space, like, yes, that's what I put for now. I don't know what exactly that looks like. At the end of the program, she'll go over jobs and job titles, and then you can kind of figure out like, you where you want to focus on.
Okay. All right. I'm excited about this because you already have clarity there. I think that's what you need to bring to your cover photo, Shannon. I think that we need to stand up a cover photo in Canva that says Shannon Barrier. Am I saying that right? Barrier or Barrier?
Yes.
Okay. Barrier functional nutrition health specialist right up here in kind of the sight words area, possibly juxtaposed to the right. Um, I think you're doing very well here. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and you also include that you're a veteran and a military spouse, which I think is very important. I think we're missing something in this general area, and I would love to hear an introduction. Um, can I shift over to an example of that briefly? One moment. I would like to just share the entire window here. Let's do that. So you should now see infinite mirrors. And now that we are on Mandy McEwen, I'm going to play this for you, okay? Did you hear that?
No.
Okay. Let me drop this in the chat. Or how about you in your browser head over to Mandy's profile and then click her audio. Once you click it one more time and listen to that intro. I'm going to switch back to your profile here. And everyone who's watching can follow along. Open another tab now and head over to Mandy's profile and take a listen.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would really benefit from that. I do. Okay, now coming down to your about section, I want to work on it. I think that you have a really good first draft here. I think that I can give you some pointers to really flesh out your authenticity and attract what you're seeking in the employment space. Are you looking to, let me clarify, looking to work for a company as a functional nutrition health specialist or potentially work for yourself?
I think I like the option of both. Yeah, I would
Mhm.
love to work for a company. Um, but I'm also a stay-at-home mom with an 18-month-old running around. So, whichever works best.
Oh, I also have a 19-month-old. So,
All
um,
right. So
can relate. Yeah, I've got a 4-year-old and a 19-month-old, and it's amazing. Um, okay. So we want the option to work for ourselves or potentially be a contractor. That's how I would start this. As a military veteran, I bring discipline, resilience and precision to my work in functional nutrition, holistic wellness. These things feel so different to me. Resilience and functional nutrition. Discipline and precision, I think, certainly fall in line. I would think about flipping this. So you talk about pursuing my functional nutrition health practitioner certification. And I gave this advice to a lot of people last week, and I'm going to do it again now. Everybody, um, take a note on your LinkedIn profile. If you're in the process of a transition, we want to avoid words like pursuing, aspiring, in school, training, etc. What you want to do is think one baby step ahead of that. You want to get one step ahead. So you would simply call yourself a functional nutrition health practitioner. By the time you finish that certification, you will have wasted all of these months of job searching and attracting potential recruiters to your profile by calling yourself a trainer. They're just going to remember you as a trainee and move on. Does that make sense? I see your baby.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hi. Oh, how sweet. Um, so go ahead and take that action. And then I would flip these two sentences because we want the value of your niche to be upfront and the bonus of being a veteran and military spouse to feel like icing on the cake, to feel like, no pun intended, but to feel like that extra pizzazz. And then I know that we're a little concise, and I think you have some room to expand here about why you see food as a powerful healing tool and then how you practice it at work. And you may have to reach just a little bit to envision a baby step of one step forward of how you would be practicing this with your clients or within a company that you support. Does that make sense, Shannon? Okay. I'm going to move
Yes.
on. I think that's a lot of direction for you at this point in time. Let me take a look at the bottom. I wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on this section of your profile. Plug in a logo for your company. And then I would consider reframing the technical recruiter position at Amazon or retracting it if you are making a really strong career pivot into functional wellness. Just because it doesn't add to that brand. I don't know if there's a way for you to reframe it because a technical recruiter is like a very specific position.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I deleted from the last session that you had, I had like UX design in there, a certification that I had. I got rid of
Mm.
that and I was like afraid to get rid of anything else as I didn't want to make it look like, gosh, what has she been doing?
Yeah, I understand that. Let's think about this. Collaborated with stakeholders to develop targeted sourcing strategies and talent pipelines. Created and executed recruitment plans with clear deliverables, timeline. I mean, this is valuable experience. Experienced in managing and prioritizing multiple searches, projects, and client relationships.
I mean, to be honest, really, I could get rid of it. I mean, I think it looks good on there,
Mhm.
but I mean, it was the Hiring Our Heroes Fellowship, and
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. It's definitely not anything I want to do.
Long term.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
so let's do this. Let's do this. Let's pull it and let's flesh out this whole 8 years. You've had Sugar Bees Custom Confections for 8 years. Um, business operations directed all facets of business operations, including strategic planning, establish and maintain strong relationships with customers, leverage tools like Canva, designed and maintain user-friendly websites, provide end-to-end delivery of products. I think you're doing well. I don't think you need the technical recruiter position. What I do think you need is where you have this full-time parenting career break. Can we talk about here some things that perhaps you did during that career break? Um, let me see, 2020 to 2020, 2022 to 2022. Food researcher. Okay, this is what I would do. I would try to rework this just a tad. So in the career break, I might kind of change the dates on that so that I could have it encompass my HOH fellowship and talk about in that full-time parenting career break, what are things that you did? So for example, I'm full-time parenting, I'm doing the career break, I am managing, did you do a PCS? Manage a PCS? Did you take any educational courses or get certifications? Yes or no? Talk about what those are, and then you could slide in completed a technical recruiter HOH, uh, completed a technical recruiter fellowship with Amazon Web Services, so that it shows while not working that you were doing self-development. Does that make sense?
because because during that time, that's when I went to culinary school. So I guess I can kind of,
Talk about that.
yeah, okay.
Explain. Career break doesn't mean I'm just sitting on the couch watching TV all day, or whatever. Okay. I love all of this feedback for you. I would love to see your updated profile. I think you need to update your skills too. To I would probably reduce all 86 of these skills down to like no more than 15 and keep them very much centered into the functional nutrition space. All right. Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take any questions from you, and next we have, Deja. Deja, are you ready? Is she gonna come on screen with us?
I'm popping in a second to say Deja would like to go third and have
Okay.
Dion go before her if possible.
Okay, Dion, are you with us? Is Dion here?
I just resent him the link, so hopefully he will join us in just a second.
Okay. Great work, Shannon. I'm excited about your progress and look forward to seeing it. I will go ahead and switch over to Dion's profile. Okay, this is Dion's profile. Should I proceed with critique? Yeah. Okay, Dion, I'm going to go ahead and get going. You can watch the replay or join whenever you're ready. So I think first of all, I am missing authenticity from you here because we don't have a picture of you, and we don't have a first name. I'm feeling like, is this a real person? And I'm looking at that candidly from a recruiter's perspective. So sometimes people don't like to use pictures of themselves, and just an education for everyone that can have like religious connotations with it. Not being interested in sharing your personal likeness online, and that's totally fine. One way that you can augment that is by using an avatar of what you might look like, potentially a cartoon character. If you're still not comfortable with that, potentially using a photo that is at least representative of your space and your expertise. So a waterfall, a beautiful waterfall landscape would not be reflective of your industry or your expertise. A second way that you can augment that is if you are in that space where you're not comfortable using a photo of yourself or even an avatar, add in that amazing audio playback from Mandy's profile. So I demonstrated that before. It's kind of cumbersome to head over there, but let me do that for you. If anybody is new, if you see this audio button, click it again.
Hi, I'm Mandy McEwen. Thanks so much for stopping by my LinkedIn profile. And if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. Thanks.
He basically says, "Hi, I'm Mandy McEwen. Thanks for stopping by my LinkedIn profile. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know." All right, so that tells us you're a real person and not a bot. So Dion says to refresh. Okay, I'll refresh. Updating on the fly. I appreciate that. Let's see. Nice. Very good headshot, Dion. I like that. It looks, let's get a little bit of a closer look here. It's a little grainy, Dion. So I have a quick tip for you for doing this. You look great in the headshot. I would just grab a light. I would ask a friend to borrow their cell phone and turn their cell phone flashlight on while you're taking this, or grab a selfie light. I know it can be complicated when you're wearing spectacles or glasses to get a headshot without the light flashing, but if you just hold that light to the side, it will it won't reflect in your glasses. So very, very nice. Thank you for doing that. All right, next date, Dion, let's move on to the next component here. U.S. Air Force veteran, Lean Six Sigma, Yellow Belt certification, GovTech, generative AI, ML, deep learning enthusiast. Dion, what do you want your job title to be? Your ideal job title. And that's what I would put here. Deep learning enthusiast. What about expert? What about specialist? Let's move down here. I noticed, Dion, that you have a ton of robot technician experience. I mean, you've got multiple years of servicing robots. What is stopping you from adding expert robot technician or expert robot specialist to this headline here so that we can attract bigger and better career opportunities in the space of robot servicing? What's stopping you from that? Let me head over to the chat and see if I'm getting any answers. Dion, indirect live. I chat on the YouTube platform. Perfect. Just pausing here to see if Dion has submitted any additional comments. All right, let's keep going. That's my first tip for you, Dion. I was laid off twice in 2023. Man, that is frustrating. That is very frustrating. All right, popping back over to your profile. Also, I would be interested in having some text on your cover photo. When we declare what you want that ideal job title to be, robot field service technician. What about robot operations expert, robot operations specialist, robot operations program manager, project manager, whatever that is. I want to see it here in your headline first before U.S. Air Force veteran, and I want to see it up here in your cover photo. This is my personal approach, is putting the veteran at the end of the headline, because like I stated with Shannon, we really want that to be the icing on the cake. The first thing that we want to lead here with are not your certifications, but your expertise. Let's lead with expertise, stack on certifications. Deep learning enthusiast sort of makes me think that you're a student. So that word is sticking with me as a student when I'm looking at this with my recruiter eyes, but I'd love to see United States Air Force veteran at the end. And I love that you're including your branch. All right, so let's move down here to your about section. I'd love to see a little bit more of your personality here. I think you have a really great professional summary, but you're also just calling yourself a strategic professional. Come on, Dion, you have a ton of robot experience. Let's talk about what you really do and what you really want to brand yourself as. And then you can also include a short paragraph about things you like to do in your spare time. All right, that's all that I have time for with Dion. Let me move on to the next person. Dion, feel free to send me your updated profile when you make the adjustments. All right, who do we have next? Katie.
Muted. Next up, we have Deja, which I sent you
Deja.
the link. We'll see if she comes on. If not, we can swap to Jolene, who is already backstage and ready to go.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go with Jolene. If she's backstage, let's pull her
Yeah.
on.
All right, Jolene, I'm going to bring you up.
Oops. Hi, Jolene.
Hi, hello.
Jolene. We were joking earlier that Jolene's going to come and take our jobs. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. It's nice to see you. Nice to digitally meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
First of all, can everybody clap and give Jolene kudos for already completing her audio playback? What? You did an amazing job. I loved it. Let me
Good.
do it one more time. You're not the only one.
Hi, I'm Jolene Saldivar. Thank you for visiting my profile. I'm always open to connecting and happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
I like it. If I can tweak it, I'm happy to answer any questions. I like it. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you wanted to go a layer deeper, you could potentially say any organizational development questions that you might have, kind of really niche into your brand. Your cover photo, let me get back to you. Hang on. Close some of these so I know who I'm finished with. Jolene. Your profile photo is a bit grainy. So I think you have a side project maybe this weekend to take a new one. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the angle. I love the smile. I love that I can feel your personality in it. I would love for it to be a little bit clearer.
Okay. I can work on that.
Awesome. So I do really like your cover photo, but I cannot read this. Helping organizations adapt to change, improve performance, and achieve their strategic objectives. Let me think about that. Improve performance and achieve their strategic. I would probably simply say facilitating organizational change, or helping organizations adapt to change.
Okay.
And I don't know that you need organizations. Maybe facilitating successful adaptation of change. You know what would be helpful here is if you gave this little paragraph to AI and asked AI to condense it to 3 to 5 words max. And then let's go bigger here. This is your billboard. Let's make that bigger.
Okay.
And normally I would advise against a cursive font, but I think you've chosen one that's very easy to read. So I support it. So great work. Organizational development specialist, master's degree in industrial organizational psychology, HR leader, workplace culture, and behavior strategist. I love it. I think I really like your headline. I believe it's very strong. Okay. And you've already updated your URL, so you're doing very well with all of these initial components. Let's head down to your About section. Organizational development specialist. Yep. Passionate about helping people and solving problems efficiently with a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's in industrial organization psychology. You are a double threat. I bring a deep understanding of human behavior and workplace dynamics to every role I take. Okay. My background includes 8 years as a pilot crew scheduler for a major airline where I mastered coordinating departments, managing complex schedules, and solving logistical challenges quickly. As a lead human resources specialist, I applied those skills to streamline HR. Is this the same role? Pilot.
Different role.
Okay, you need to lead with this one.
Okay.
And applied those skills to streamline HR positions, focusing on recruitment, employee relations, training, development, and compliance with labor laws and company policies. All right, let's think about that second paragraph. I don't think you need the statement, my background. I think you could suffice to say, as a lead human resources specialist, I would define the skills. And I know that in the previous statement, you're saying coordinating departments, managing complex schedules, and solving logistic challenges quickly. As a lead human resources specialist, I applied those skills to streamline HR operations, focusing. As a lead human resources specialist, I streamline HR operations, focusing on recruitment, employee relations, training and development, and compliance with labor laws and company policies. Let's see here. I'm also proficient in I'm also a master, probably proficient is better. Proficient in coordinating departments, managing complex schedules, and solving logistical challenges quickly. Based may not be the right word, but we kind of want to point back to based on my prior experience as a pilot crew scheduler for a major airline. So we're flipping it to where the relevant position is first, and then more of the skill developing position with the airline is second. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Okay. And then we kind of want to deviate away from that skill development position. So it might be helpful to have a final sentence there that points back to organizational development specialist. Okay. I specialize in helping organizations adapt to change, improve performance, and achieve strategic objectives through thoughtful evidence-based practices. I aim to implement positive workplace environments where people thrive and organizations grow. I do. You don't aim, you do. I implement positive workplace environments where people thrive, organizations grow. My specialty is helping organizations adapt to change while also improving performance and reaching strategic objectives. What do you think about that feedback?
Yeah.
Stronger?
Yeah.
I think it's more confidence in architect-based language. I love that you are doing your work with Super Purposes. I'm really familiar with that organization. I think it's awesome.
I actually just ended my internship there.
Okay.
And I added the letter of recommendation I was given by the CEO. Should I add it there or should I add it to in a different location?
I like it. I like it here.
Okay.
Did they give you a recommendation?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure that it's here. I don't see it reported directly to her.
So should I put it in both places?
No, I don't think you can put it here. Super
Yeah.
Purposes should certainly have someone come in here and recommend you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to do that. I don't think you can put it there unless you have someone put it there for you.
Okay.
I like it here though. I really do. I think it's helpful. What's your next step? You ended your internship.
I'm actually pregnant right now, so my next step is having my baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Excited for you.
Thanks.
I would take a note from Shannon's page where she had career break in there,
Mhm.
and everything you're doing while you're taking your career break, if you're managing household things, if you're doing any additional education, plug it in.
Okay.
Let people know you're here and you're still growing as a human being.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
Nice to meet you. Thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
me. Katie, who's
Yeah.
next?
Well, it looks like we lost Deja. So Deja, if you are there, come on back in. Go ahead and click that link and we'll get you on. She was in for a little bit. Otherwise, who is next? We've got Naomi was on our list. Have we done Naomi?
Paul says he downloaded WhatsApp and searched for us. I don't think that's how you'd find us, but
No.
here's the QR code, Paul. I don't know why I think pointing to it more is gonna help Paul more.
I also sent the URL in the chat, Paul. So
Okay.
you, if you can't scan, like if you're watching on your phone, I understand you can't scan. Then there's a URL that you can go to click it to join the WhatsApp. Oh, let's see. Hold on, I have a WhatsApp message.
Okay. All right. So who
Okay.
did you say we're working with now?
We have Naomi coming. Give me just 1 second.
All right, Naomi. I know
It was
Naomi.
there we go. So I sent her the link. Hopefully she will be here in just. Oh, somebody blooped. Oh, looks like Deja is back.
Okay. Deja. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into
Hi.
Deja since she's here. Yay! Hey, Deja, you're here. Let me.
Sorry, I had to log off and log back in.
I get it. I totally get it. I'm excited to do yours. I thought it was really good.
Thank you.
And I'm excited that you're here. So I think my first question for you is, do you see yourself as a cybersecurity analyst in your next position?
So I ultimately want to get in security engineer.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, so I with the software development background as well as a certification in security and then working in security with the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get towards is security engineer,
Okay.
honestly.
Is that cybersecurity engineer or just security engineer when we're talking about how the industry calls it?
So more more than likely cloud security.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
currently pursuing a certification in Microsoft Azure, which I should be achieving sometime next month. And so, yeah, I'm leaning towards cloud security, Also, I have cloud experience from my apprenticeship with Amazon too. So that's what I'm leaning towards.
I love that. I love that. That gives us so much direction. Okay. So first of all, for your URL here, I think you could replace this with Deja Green. Could you potentially put cloud security engineer here? Maybe. I think that's a possibility.
Okay.
And then let's start from the top and work our way down. Cover photo. I would love to see like a big cloud with a lock on it. And then the words cloud engineer. Wait, cloud security engineer here. And then, oops, I didn't mean to click your contact info. I'm sorry. And then, oh, and you've got the Proton Mail. Everybody knows that's super secure. I would lead here in my headline with cloud security engineer.
Okay.
All right. Remove aspiring. Remove, and I've said this on this call and the last call, but I know people are coming and going, so I want to repeat myself.
I've removed it. If
Okay.
you refresh it, it's not there anymore.
I'm going to repeat myself for any new listeners. When we're on LinkedIn, we're trying to think one baby step ahead of where we are right now. You can take a bigger step if you're more comfortable, but if you're in school or you're doing education or you're thinking about career pivot, don't use words like student, aspiring, volunteer, etc. We want to go ahead and position ourselves on this platform as if we've already made the transition. All right, so I think it's up to you where you want to place Air Force veteran. I've been advising people to put it at the end, not remove it. It's very important that it's there, but that is not, and this is in an interesting way, it is a part of who you are, but that is not the job you're trying to attract. You're not trying to attract an Air Force veteran. So it's important that it is in your headline and it's at the end. So it's like the little cherry on top. Oh, and she's an Air Force veteran. Bing, checks another box for us. But what we want to position ourselves as first is the job we want to attract. Cloud security engineer. And then this word proficient in information security principles and best practices. I just want to say that as a recruiter, proficient in is played out. So I would just spice it up a little bit here. And I would either drop proficient in or information security principles and best practices master. Just, get a little creative there. Everybody's saying proficient in. Committed to protecting organizational assets and enhancing cyber defense. I love it. I love it so much. So good job. I would also really like to see you give us an introduction here, an audio introduction like Mandy. Did you see it? Jolene did it. Mandy did it. Okay, go for it. Your cover photo. So just like Jolene's, it's a little grainy. I would love the photo is so nice though. You have such a big smile. I can see your eyes. I feel like I can really authentically feel your personality through the screen. And that's truly what we want. Is it possible for you to redo it and get a little bit more of a clear picture?
I think so. It's actually, I didn't take the photo. It was from a photographer. So, it's just it's a photo that I had that I used.
I love it. I wonder if that photographer potentially can give you a digital version to put it in, or maybe this was a digital version. I don't know. That's just my feedback, and it would be fine if you didn't do anything to it, but that's my opinion. So we have the open to work banner on too. I do want to show you that it does stamp itself onto your photo for everyone's awareness here. Because for example, we're hiring someone and they start next week and they have the open to work banner on. And so we do like a welcome PowerPoint where we bring their headshot into our PowerPoint, but we're not able to pull the open to work banner off of her photo. So that's how her PowerPoint is going to look, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and move down. I thought that your about section was really strong. Let's take a look at it together. Driven by passion for cybersecurity. I would just simply make sure that cybersecurity is the keyword that you want to be using, especially since we discussed cloud. I don't see a lot of the use of the word cloud here.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, we don't have cloud here yet. Maybe it's down low. Make sure, here's a tip. If you were to go pull a job requisition, Deja, for the ideal position that you want, what keywords would be in the job description? And how many of them can you put in your about section? I liked
That
this.
I'm
Go ahead.
unsure of. Yeah, because I'm transitioning back into tech, so I have like a very broad tech background, so that I'm not quite sure of.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Over decade of experience managing. Have you looked at any new positions recently in the cloud space? Any
Not yet.
requisitions?
Not yet,
Okay.
because I'm still actively in training, so I haven't really looked at any positions yet.
Okay. It might be helpful to take a peek at some of them,
Okay.
even though we're in training, because here's how that, let me get back to on screen with you. Here's how that could potentially support your training. How many weeks in on your training are you?
About 4 weeks.
So pretty new.
Yeah, I have. It's 9 weeks of training, so
It
yeah.
might, and this is kind of outside of LinkedIn, but just as like a coach thinking about this, I would go pull some requisitions for what that ideal job title sounds like and study them. You know, just take 15 minutes and review them, because it's going to
Okay.
give you a clue to what's going to be super important in your training. You know, there may
Okay.
be things in the job requisition that employers are looking for you to niche into. And when it comes up in training, it will be evident to you what you're learning, what
Okay.
skill sets you're learning. I think your profile is awesome, and I'm excited to see any updates that you have to it. Let me just scroll
Okay.
to the bottom here, your work experience. InPower, I see that you are doing an internship with InPower. And in the career transition and career break, I would list any education that you've done. You have a really strong work experience to build off of. So let's see here, 2024 to present, internship 2020. In your career transition, can you describe any personal development or accomplishments that you made there?
Yeah, it's actually in the certification section too.
Okay. That was the exact same scenario as someone else we had on earlier.
Okay.
Can we describe that there? I think it would be really beneficial, because I'm not going to
Okay.
intuitively go look at your certifications and like do the date math to map out that you did this during your career transition.
Okay.
So I would give some bullets here of education you pursued.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
What questions can I answer for you?
I honestly can't think of anything right now, only because I'm on a time crunch. I probably would have had questions earlier, but yeah, off the top of my head, I'm just absorbing everything and taking in everything that you've explained, so that I can go back and better construct my profile.
I can't wait to see the next version. Thank you so much for being willing to be
Thank you
on
for your
screen with us
time.
today, and send in any questions you have to Katie too, or the WhatsApp.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We have a tip for Deja from Dave, who says, ensure you have Azure listed, cloud migration, IAM, and all of these other terms. So Deja, I'll give you a moment to check those out. And then let's move on to our next person.
We're going to bring Naomi on. She is ready and waiting. She just sent me a message. And then Kimber, do we have time? So we're going to have Naomi. Is that going to be our last candidate today, do you think, time-wise? Or do we have time for like one more?
Thank you for asking. Give me a second. I'm doing the mental math here.
That's
All
fine.
right. Do we have other people waiting?
We have one person who submitted her. I'm going to add Naomi real fast so she doesn't get lost. We have one more person who submitted her profile from our Facebook group who is ready to come on screen if we have time.
If they're ready to come on screen, I will take the time and do it.
Okay, I will message her and let her know. And thank you for coming, Naomi.
Hi, Naomi. How are you?
Hi,
And
good. How are you?
good. Good to see you. Dr. Robert Myers asks, how do we get assistance with LinkedIn profiles? Dr. Robert, we're doing a LinkedIn bootcamp. This is our final week, but that doesn't mean you cannot watch the replay and join the WhatsApp group. Here's the QR code. Dr. Myers, would love to have you come in and join us. Okay. Naomi, so first of all, I loved that you took the extra, you know what I'm going to say? You took the extra time and you made your audio introduction. Kudos to Naomi. I love it. It was so good. I do have some feedback for you on it. It's very quiet. I'd love to hear louder, and it doesn't have a CTA. So we want that. Hello, I'm Naomi, and I'm ready to listen when you're ready to reach out. Because you said you were a deep listening specialist, so I was just trying to come up with something that was a hook, but also in your niche. So I'd love for you to be louder and give us a hook there. Your cover photo is great. It's got a little too many words for sight reading. You don't necessarily have to change your billboard, but I do want to give you feedback that if you wanted it to be more sight words, you could potentially focus on reducing the quantity of words.
Okay.
You are a very smart person and very intellectual. I had to take a moment to digest your headline. And I wanted to say that I was struggling with the amount of words, the amount of kind of complex concepts communicated there were heavy for me. And I was thinking, what is Naomi? What is Naomi? And then I saw in your about section, I'm a coach. I'm a coach. So I wanted to ask you, is your profession a coach, and are you seeking to attract coaching clients?
Yes, and so yes, I'm a coach and I am seeking to attract coaching clients. I'd put this in the WhatsApp, but it was right before we went live. Excuse me. Attracting coaching clients and making a little bit of a pivot into service design, which I've done through like several of my roles, the practice of it, but I don't have formal training in it. So that's where, some of the language that I'm trying to use to frame my work to eventually get into that as I go through some training over the next several months.
What is that? I'm not familiar with service design.
Yeah, I didn't know about it either until a couple years ago. So it's a way of looking at an entire system that's designed to provide a service and looking at it from start to finish, getting feedback from the users of the service, like on directly like what they need and what their experience of it is, and identifying pain points and revamping a system in order to be efficient and effective.
Wow.
So yeah, it's often in like consulting type roles. There's, regular jobs doing this, but it's more frequently consulting based.
Okay. Let's think about that. So how do you position yourself? Equity-centered change, systems change, deep listening, healing-centered practices, designing for justice and community, well-being, data-informed action. I definitely feel like we have a mix of the two. What do you think is your primary goal on LinkedIn? Service design or coaching?
I mean, to me, they're complementary. Coaching is more individual and smaller groups, and service design is more organizational, but the sort of like core pieces in the process are very similar, like the listening and getting like what's actually going on underneath the surface. What is the values driving, your life, your arc, your entire journey, and like how do we design actions together that get you there? So it's both. And I mean, a lot of consultants doing service design are also coaches. So
Okay.
so they're
Yeah.
both and.
I see that. Okay. I see the underlying connection. Do you believe that LinkedIn will drive both pipelines for you?
I'm not sure. I hope
Okay.
so.
Okay.
But
So
yeah.
how about what kind of coaching do you do specifically when you're working
Yeah,
with a client? Is that like life coaching?
financial wellness, life, and grief.
Financial wellness, life, and grief. Financial wellness, life, and grief. Okay. So my go-to gut reaction here is calling yourself a coach and service processes. Can you give me the title of what that role is again?
Service design.
Service
Um,
design.
I'm not calling myself that because I don't have the formal training, but I use the language of it throughout my profile to show that I'm
Coaching.
fluent in it.
Coaching.
Sorry?
Is that what are you talking about coaching? You're not.
Oh, I'm trained in coaching. I'm trained and certified in coaching, but not in service design.
Okay. So I would go in the cover photo, certified coach, and in the headline, certified coach in the areas of finance, wellness, and grief. And then after that, I would tie in the service design language. Life-centered process design. I love that phrase, life-centered process design. And I love that you have military veteran on the end.
Oh, if you refresh it, I
Okay.
actually did some tweaks during the live, so I updated it to say Army veteran. And a couple of other things that I updated as well. They were pretty minor though.
Okay, great. Coaching, equity-centered systems change, deep listening, healing-centered practices, designing for justice and community well-being. So I see a lot of equity-centered justice and community. Do you specialize in that area?
Yeah, I've been in the social service nonprofit sector for most of my career so far.
Okay, I gotcha. Pathways to housing. I see that. Social injury. I only think you need to state that. Let's see, equity centered. Candidly, either equity centered systems change or designing for justice, community, and well being.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. So that's good feedback.
Okay, yeah. So I would do one or the other. I think it's verbose as is, and one of them is going to communicate your expertise. I would lean in with certified coach in grief, the other two options that you stated. And I would end with life-centered process design. When you're confident and comfortable, you have to integrate the services design to make the pivot. It sounds like you're not quite there yet, so we will leave it.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. My next two things for you, give me some logos here. You can pop on Canva and make something for yourself as a coach. It could just be your initials. Northwest Philadelphia Peace Church, you can also make one for them if they don't have one, or you can go to their website and grab one to upload it.
Okay.
Those are some things that I would do initially. And then your about section, I'm a coach, a strategist, and equities. I thought that your about section was really good. I've already read it, and I was really impressed with how you described everything here. Did you have questions about your about section that you wanted either validation on or clarity on?
So I added, I don't know what the last time you read this, I added two small tweaks in the last, I don't know, hour or so. One of them is the last two paragraphs. I added a sentence at the end of each of them because I want it to be clear that, like, number one, how I can help organizations And number two, like that I'm open to people reaching out if they're interested.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that that's clear and that the sort of like connecting the dots between coaching and service design is clear to readers. I tried to do that, but you know, when you're in it, you don't know how something comes across to somebody who's not familiar with service design, which I think is a lot of people.
I'm not. And so I have to trust that you've selected the right keywords and statements to attract someone who can read in between the lines and perceive you as that. But if you're not overtly stating it on your profile, you're not going to be searchable for it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to weigh the decision between, do I want to go the extra step to try to weave it in right now? Or do I want to wait until I'm certified and feel comfortable doing that? Because I would always encourage you to take the step forward, one baby step forward to calling yourself that. But I understand if it's a specific industry and you need a specific certification, why you wouldn't want to do that. Like it would be weird to call yourself a PMP if you're still studying for the PMP. So I get that. So my other facet would be, okay, let me just really go all in on the coaching until I'm ready to turn the key and make the pivot.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation to enhance your chances and probability of being searched as a coach and branding yourself as a coach until you're ready to turn the corner on the service design.
Got it. Okay. That's
I think
helpful.
your last two sentences there are great. You could add, did you say, send me a message? I welcome conversations with individuals and organizations about grounded support. Send me a message here on LinkedIn and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Great.
A little bit more concrete.
Yeah.
Have any questions, any other clarifying points or things you want to talk about?
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure that it's clear and accessible both to organizations and then also, you know, with my immediate focus being to connect more to the coaching world, because it's been, you know, several years that I've been doing it, but diving into it as a more focused profession right now, I feel like I need to, to just be really clear about that.
I would focus on getting some coaching recommendations.
I had that on my list from your previous reviews.
I think that would really elevate this profile. If I were you, I would go all in on the coaching. You know exactly what your niche is. It's not ambiguous in any way. And I would grab some coaching client recommendations. Next level for that.
Wonderful.
I loved talking with you. Do you want to send me your profile when you've made these updates?
Yes.
Let me know what direction you took.
Will do.
All right. Thank you so much, Naomi. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Kimber. Take care.
Okay. Katie, I apologize. I have to go.
Okay.
If you want to do you potentially want to take over?
Yeah, I can take a look.
Okay. We have Kristen Taylor and you and I reviewed her feedback.
Yes.
Beforehand, and she said she was waiting. So I unfortunately have to drop. If I leave, is it going to upset anything here?
I think it should be fine because I joined as an actual person.
Okay.
And not like as a guest.
All right. I'll see you later. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let me turn off Kimber's screen share. Give me just 1 second here, guys, to pull up. Give me just 1 second, guys. And I know we have Tanya waiting too. So I'm going to do a quick little review of Kristen, because I know she's waiting, and I did tell her that we would take a look and we had talked. So Kristen, give me just 1 second here, guys, to get Kristen's profile up. And then Tanya, I will take a look at yours. And I know I'm not Kimber, but you know, it'll be okay. All right. And let me get my screen share up to here, and hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, perfect. So Kristen, I see that you've made some updates. So one of the big things, oh, you know what? Hold on, let me see this, because this wasn't on here when I looked a second ago. Let me listen.
Hello, I'm Kristen Taylor. a professional in crisis response, behavioral health, and tech integration. If you'd like to discuss opportunities, I'm happy to connect.
Awesome. Okay, that was actually going to be one of our pieces of feedback for you, was that because we have an AI profile and an AI cover photo, when you use a lot of AI on your profile, it can make people wonder if you're a real person. And so having the personal touch of your voice note there makes a really big difference, to have people say like, oh, look, no, she's real. She's real. I see her. So that's a great touch. One of the things that we did notice with the cover photo, we like the concept of it, but it's not really a billboard for you, right? It's more of a billboard for a crisis communicator and trauma specialist, or that field in general. Having this be about you in particular is a much better use of your cover photo, right? And when Kimber describes it as like your billboard, it's a billboard for you, Kristen Taylor. So I would remove like the sentence here and your little and your photo, and I would put update that to be a billboard for you, even if it says Kristen Taylor and then your title, what you are. I think that would be a great update to that. Those were our big pieces of feedback for you, Kristen. And then, oh, Kimber sent me a message. Give me a second. Yeah, so that was my big piece of feedback for you, was that I love that you updated your voice note. I think that's such a great use of it, being able to give it a personal touch. And I see, says here, I'll pull it up for everybody. She says she's getting a professional headshot done. We knew that was coming. So great. I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine. But you want to make it really personal, and you want to make sure that your LinkedIn, especially if you're looking for positions, right, or wanting recruiters to come connect with you, make that billboard really stand out as a place for candidates to see you, right? Or candidates, recruiters to see you. We want you to stand out as a candidate of, this is Kristen Taylor's LinkedIn. Okay. If you have questions, you can always put them in the WhatsApp too. And okay, I'm going to stop sharing that one. And then we have Tanya. I'm going to bring you up on stage, and then I'm going to get your LinkedIn profile. Hi, Tanya. Thanks for being so patient with us. And then let me go ahead and open you sent it to me. Sorry, I have it like on my phone and on the computer and on 6 different tabs.
My camera's not working. Can you hear me okay by any chance?
Yeah, I can hear you totally fine.
Yay. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thanks so much for your help.
Of course. Happy to. Okay.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to swap over to your profile now. So great. Oh, I love your photo. Excellent. My first piece of feedback is going to be on your cover photo. I can't see. If you look there, your cover photo is
just updated it. Because I realized that, and I'm like, hang on, I can't see that. So if you refresh, you'll see the updated image.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Yes, much better.
Thanks.
Yes, I love that. Director level program and operations leader, enterprise transformation, federal private. Oh, nice, like that. And so, like we kind of talked about last week, I'm going to bring it up again just in case anybody's popping in. We had talked about potentially removing the open to work banner. It was actually a piece of discussion in our WhatsApp group where somebody had said, like, I had asked, if we remove the open to work banner, there's still an option on your profile to select that you're open to work that's only visible to recruiters. And we think that's a great option, to keep it available for recruiters to see that you're open to work, but then it doesn't get in the way of your beautiful person, right, on your profile. You can leave it if you like it. Kimber doesn't love it, and I think
I just updated it and took it off.
Okay, awesome. All right. So we're going in live here. I have not seen this, so give me just a second to read.
Yeah, no, of course, no problem.
And so one thing I just noticed up here that's not here is adding your audio introduction. We talked about that in our live with Mandy McEwen, and adding that's just a great way to add a little personal touch. It's meant to be for pronunciation, which is helpful because you will introduce yourself, but then you can add a little call to action on your page if there's something that you want if you're looking to connect with people, if you're looking for recruiters, looking for opportunities, that's a great place to have a little call to action in there.
Okay, perfect.
I like this. And so what types of positions are you looking for? What are your goals on LinkedIn?
My goal is to find a director of operations role.
Okay. That is coming across to me, so that's good. And I love that we've got a lot of quantitative stuff in here. Numbers are always a good way to call things out and really bring a punchline in, which I love. So good job on that. Nice. Got a feature. Look at you. It's looking honestly really good to me. One thing I will recommend, because I'm not Kimber, is make sure you connect with Kimber on LinkedIn after today's call and have her take a look at it. You can message her and reach out to her. Let her know what you're looking for too. That'll help her. But honestly, it's looking really good to me.
Awesome.
Sorry. Lots of experience in their education, great licenses, and then nice. And then, and look at you. Recommendations. That's great. Awesome. As I say, we haven't seen a ton of them, so that's really great to see that you've got a couple of recommendations in there. That's always a huge bonus. Yeah, I think that's honestly, you've done a great job on there. Yeah, like I said, one of the big things, you already updated my big thing that I was going to say. Adding the voice note will make a really nice personal touch to that. And then make sure you, definitely reach out to Kimber and connect with her, send it to her. She might see some different things, because she is definitely much more heavily into the recruiter side of things than I am. But it's definitely reading to me, what you're looking for. You've got a lot of great experience there. I really like the quantitative numbers that you have in the about section as well. Do you have any questions in the meantime?
The only thing that I realize that I do have to work on is just increasing the number of connections to that minimum of 500 and engagement. I, over the past couple of years, have really slowed down on any kind of social media interaction at all.
I get that.
And so that's something that I definitely know I need to kind of work on. And I don't know if you perhaps have any particular suggestions as far as the types of engagement and like posts perhaps that I should add to the profile.
That is a great question, and this is a great one for everybody too. It's going to be in the replay that we're going to send out hopefully this week, in the next day or two, from the event with Mandy McEwen. She talks a lot about connecting and engaging with people. And my best advice, because I'm with you, funny enough, I work on social media, but sometimes I think because I work on social media, I have a hard time doing things on social media. So I am trying really hard to get back into using my LinkedIn as well. I am, and I just don't post. I don't really engage very much on there. It's a thing that just falls off my to-do list. So my best advice is just to do it, just to start. Doing something is better than nothing. So find people that whether you're already connected with them or you're interested in connecting with them, and start engaging on their posts, and try and be authentically you, right? Try not to use, Mandy McEwen talked about this a lot, about not using copy and paste straight from AI for commenting, that it's better for commenting, especially, to just, what's your reaction? What do you have to say? What do you have to comment about it? And just start engaging a little bit on somebody that you want to connect with, especially if it's in a company that you want to work for. Start engaging on their posts a little bit, liking them, commenting here and there. And then after a few pieces of engagement, connect with them and send a message and just say, hey, I've been following you and I've been looking at your posts and really feeling like we should connect. I feel like what you're saying is resonating with me. I'd love to connect, whatever it is that you want to say. But yeah, start engaging on people's posts, especially if you can find people in your field that you're looking in and companies that you would love to work for, like your ideal company or somebody who even holds the ideal job position, and just start looking them. Even if it's not going to get you a job, they might be helpful with like mentoring or at least giving you an idea of what they're doing and how you can do that too. We do have, let me see if I have, because I'm just me. Let me see if I have, I do not. Give me just 1 second. We have a networking post on Kimber's LinkedIn, and I had the QR code for it last week and I must have dropped it. So give me just 1 second here to find it. And I'll put it up as a QR code. So Kimber has on her LinkedIn, she has we call it our social Saturday LinkedIn connecting post. And it is a great way to just introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm looking for this. I looking to connect, looking to make connections, looking for whatever it is you're looking for. And I'm eventually going to find it, guys. I'm sorry. I had it in a thing. I have so many notes to myself that just got lost. But if I can't find it here, I'll just send it a different way. But we have, it's a great place to go connect, because not only is it all of Kimber's connections are going to see it, but we also have the entire VertForce community in there. And every Saturday we go live with Act Now Education, which is primarily veterans, but also military spouses. And we share this post with them and they are commenting on it. They are engaging in it. So it's a great way to make connections with other candidates, people looking for positions, things like that. And I always tell people, you never know who is going to see it, because there are a lot of employers that visit Kimber's profile and they are looking at this stuff. And it's a great way to like potentially have somebody get eyes on you. And at the very least, it's a good way to build connections, because there's, a whole mess of people. I'm gonna find it eventually, everybody. I'm sorry. And another great, here it is, I found it, yay. Another great way to build your connections is if you join in our WhatsApp group, which that's the QR code above me. That is a great place to hop in there. Everybody is connecting with everybody. It's a good way to like get some connections to start, and then start searching for people, right? Think about what your ideal job title is, what your ideal company would be, and start connecting with people over in those areas as well.
Okay.
Good. I found it. I made a little QR code. So I updated the QR code above me now for the LinkedIn network post. We call it a social Saturday post. But you'll see on there are over 100 comments on there, people looking, and a bunch of reposts and things like that. Go follow Kimber Hill on LinkedIn. Join in that post. Connect with Kimber. Make sure you do that first. You can always connect with me as well, but make sure you definitely do Kimber. You can send her a message. And on that LinkedIn network post, engage with it. It's a good place to start, right? And a good place to get connections. So that's a great way to do that. As for posting, that's a whole ballgame. But the best advice that I was given from Kimber, from Mandy, from everybody is just be authentic, be you, right? The personal side of you is what makes your LinkedIn special. So talk about what you're passionate about. Why are you in this industry? Why do you want to be in this industry? And then give it your spin, right? And talk about you. I think that's going to be the best way to do that. We did talk about this a little bit. You can use AI for generating some post ideas for you. That's helpful. I think finding post ideas is really helpful, but making sure that when using AI, you entirely rewrite it. It's very obvious when it's AI, and that'll ruin it, right? Because the whole point is to be authentic and you. And if it looks like AI, it makes everybody go, So does that make sense?
It does. It does make absolute sense. One thing that is really interesting that I learned recently is that when you're using tools like ChatGPT, for example, you'll see signatures of it in one particular way. And that's when you see like a dash.
Yes.
It's got like that M dash, like that longer looking dash. And that's how you can usually kind of tell if you see all of those kind of strewn about the profile or wherever. That's how you can kind of typically tell, like, okay, this is all kind of AI generated. So just
Instead
big tip
of using
for folks,
commas.
use it, remove it, and change it so that you don't get flagged for using AI for your
we
details.
talked about it last week actually, because Kimber and I had been talking about it, and then it popped up in somebody's profile real fast, and it popped up in their profile like right afterwards we were talking about it. I was like, that's so funny. But it does dashes instead of commas for whatever reason. So if you're using AI, that is something you can tell them, do not use dashes or hyphens in place of commas. I also have like it's called Grammarly, but it's like it checks just to make sure my spelling is right, making sure I didn't miss a comma or something, and it catches it every single time. And that's when I started to notice it, is because I was like, why am I getting so many like grammar notifications that like something I wrote was that and then I was like, oh, because AI likes to do this. It also loves to do comparison statements. We talked about this last week too, but it's not just that military spouses are underemployed. It's about XYZ, and it loves to do that kind of comparison statement that it'll say just and then something else. You can also do you can try and train your AI, if you're using it, to say like, don't use comparison statements, don't do this, be authentic, sound like this person. And if you can give it examples of like things that you have written personally that you like the feel and the vibe and it sounds like it's in your tone, then you can give it that example and say, this is an example, utilize this.
Awesome. Okay. Sounds good.
No
and I
problem.
just saw that comment in the chat about running the answer through Claude to make it sound more human. I like that.
Yeah. And the one thing I will say is that if you're using, we talked about this in the boot camp with Manny McEwen, is that if you're using AI and then taking it and then having to edit it and then run it back through another AI and then editing it, that's starting to not be worth your time a little bit, because then you could have done it faster if you just did it in your own head. So just pay attention to how much time you're using running it through separate AIs, because it may not, eventually, if you're having to do it multiple times, it starts being better to just do it yourself. And also then it'll sound more like you in the end.
And another thing too, when it comes to utilizing AI tools, is it's really important to see AI not just as a tool, but leverage it kind of like a partner. So you can tell it, ask me questions about me and what my communication style is like, and utilize that to formulate any future responses and have it be more of like an interactive, like a collaboration, rather than just, asking it to run specific commands, because then it's not going to ever spit out any like tailored responses that sound like you.
It will be straight AI, versus if you're giving it specific prompts and giving it examples and actually having a conversation with it, it'll end up being much more like you than if you just gave it a generic thing. So that's a really good point. So, well, Tanya, do you have any other questions about LinkedIn or your profile or anything like that before we?
I actually do have one last question, and thank you so much for your time. I don't know if in the cover like banner for LinkedIn, if I should add any kind of like numbers to that. So for example, like I've worked on federal government contracts valued up to like $89 billion. Is that something that I would want to put on my cover page, or just leave it where it is, like down in the about?
I think if you were to do it, you'd want to cut down on a lot of the text and have it be more like, because I think it would be too much on the cover photo. I think it's fine where it is. I think if you were to put it in the cover photo, you'd want to remove a lot of the other text. But I also don't think that it's necessary. I think your cover photo works perfect as it is, and you don't want the numbers to be distracting. That's more of like your billboard, your headline, your quick little advertisement, where down below is much more of your resume, and you would put the 89 billion, that sort of stuff, down more in your resume than up on your billboard, I would say. But that's a good question for Kimber, just to make sure that, she would agree. But that's my opinion on that one.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming today. All right, everybody. So that is going to be it. And we're going to wrap up here with LinkedIn Bootcamp Round 3. We've had a lot of fun. This week's will be recorded. It is recorded. It will stay on our YouTube account. And last week's is also on our YouTube. We did a bunch of other profile reviews, so I highly recommend checking those out. Like Kimber and I said, the live replay from our event with Mandy McEwen, it's about 2 hours long, a little over 2 hours, I believe, will also be on the YouTube in the next week or so. So make sure you keep an eye out for that if you subscribe to the channel. I don't know if I have. Hey, look, I do. If you're not on our YouTube, you can do it there. Subscribe, you'll get a notification when we post that video, or if you're on our VertForce Facebook group or email list, you'll also get a notification there. And that's a great way to, if you're just starting, because you might just be joining us, that live with Mandy McEwen is a really great place to start to figure out from top to bottom how to review your profile. And then this event and last week's Tuesday's LinkedIn Bootcamp are also great supplemental resources to see putting those lessons into practice on your actual LinkedIn. And if you guys have questions, you can reach out to us on LinkedIn. We will be back next week with probably a quick Tuesday job talks before we hit our VA Loan Bootcamp Live, which will be at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to put that up. That is next week. VA Loan Bootcamp is next week on May 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be great. It's a great resource, a great place to learn, get more education. So we'll be live probably about, let's see, I think we go live at like 10 Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, for just a quick few minutes to talk about upcoming events and jobs that are live on our job board. And then we'll head into Zoom to do VA Loan Bootcamp. So I hope to see you all there.